Well, you know what time it is. 2.2 recently released, and of course, a new boss did. Now, I could show you my reactions to the story, but I think you're more interested in how this particular boss fight went. So let's get right to it. Is that it? Oh, come on, it's a 3-phase battle, please, dude. Okay, wait. Oh, Dongheng saved us not only in-game, but actually in-game, but also plot-wise. Huge. This all seems a bit too easy. How did Aventurin get back? I think we're still in a dream. That boss fight felt way too easy. Okay, in my defense, I didn't tell you which boss fight I was gonna show. The Fox final engagement was only a prelude to the actual one. It forces you to use Harmony Trailblazer, which you can also build yourself, rather than use the story version. It's a good quality of life feature right there. In typical boss fashion, I've tried on multiple occasions to defeat this without using Harmony Trailblazer's ult, and to no avail. I did not have sufficient damage to beat him without super break buffs. Out of my numerous attempts of trying, I never even made it past the second health bar, so it was looking really rough for the account out here. Going back to the drawing board, there are two key things I noted during my attempts: the team full heal in the second phase, and a weird quirk of one of the full team attacks. First off, if any characters died before the second full AoE attack, they wouldn't be revived after the Robin cutscene plays. You can see that here with Hook. As for the other full team attack, it hits each character individually, from the 4th slot all the way to the 1st slot. Generally, all of the shield that is gathered by this point is already dissipated when hitting the first character, making the rest take full damage. That meant if I wanted to protect the character more, I should actually position them in the 4th slot rather than the 1st slot. Besides those, getting enough shield to survive this boss's attacks would take priority over dealing damage. One of the main reasons why my previous attempts failed was due to the lack of speed stats. Without enough speed, there was no way I would get enough attacks off to actually survive. I know you aren't supposed to build Dongheng with a lot of speed stats traditionally. This is mainly due to how skill point hungry he is, as he would like him to do a fully enhanced basic attack every time his turn is up. And you need other characters to go before him in order to get said skill points. That said, my Dongheng was way too slow in my previous attempts, and didn't even get to the 134 speed break point, so there was some fixing needed. After some time spent on fixing relics and a pretty good crit damage musketeer body, I had a Dongheng with 144 speed and fairly good stats overall. Now before you say, you aren't getting the bonus from Ruletant Arena, I planned on using Bustling Ambience as my offensive food buff, which would give me more than enough crit rate to meet Ruletant Arena's threshold. As for the other party members, Blade is by far the best built character on this account, and I plan on taking him as is given the DPS he can output on top of being a decent tank. With one character slot left, I actually pivoted from Hook to Arlen, and the main reason I did this is because Arlen has AoE on his ult, which Hook doesn't have. I found the AoE pretty useful for disabling enemies on the field that could eat in my shield, and while Hook does have an AoE with her enhanced skill, I'd rather just save all those skill points for Dongheng to get enhanced basic attacks. I also decided to partially build Harmony MC, giving her a good buffing light cone, as well as the Broken Keel planar set, which I also gave to Arlen. The purpose of doing this was to buff my team's crit damage by 20% on top of giving them abilities to resist any CC effects. I also gave enough speed stats to Arlen to be as fast as Dongheng so he could break as many gauges as possible. In case you're wondering why I didn't use the speed set, well, I've never farmed for that domain on this account, mainly due to the lack of characters that can use the 4-piece bonus in the destruction path. Though given how I had to abuse the speed stat here to break gauges, it might be worth farming for later, at least for the 2-piece effect. The one arguably unnecessary thing I did was leveling the light cone for Harmony Trailblazer to 80. I thought it was necessary initially, as past boss fights that forced a character on you made a requirement that the character must live for the entire fight. However, the devs actually made Harmony Trailblazer unable to take lethal damage unless the rest of your party was knocked out, so in hindsight this upgrade wasn't really necessary, but what's done is done. There was one last thing to discuss, and that's food buffs. I already said which offensive buff I was going to use, but not the defensive one. In this case, Prayer Machine was mostly useless. This is due to the inbuilt shield mechanic making the item gain little to no value, as most turns you have your full HP anyway. Because of this, I opted for the Moment Before Death. This item makes your team take 20% less damage and gives them an extra 6% effect resistance. This would allow my shield to take more effective damage and make it easier to meet the Broken Keel set requirement. There may have been better options for the choices I made here, but overall I thought my setup was fairly solid. Admittedly though, I wasn't confident I could beat the boss since I hadn't seen the third phase yet. And so, here was my first attempt with this new setup. Oh, they're dead, aren't they? Oh, this is so freaking bad. Okay. Hey, I didn't say the first go around would be successful. I'm really glad that the devs added this restart challenge button, as it allows you to start the fight again without losing food buffs. It also doesn't consume extra ones, so I'm really thankful for this addition, considering how long it can take to farm a significant amount of food buffs. Alright, round 2. That's fine. That's fine. That's not fine. That's not fine. That is so bad. Oh, Arlen's dead here. I mean, I guess it's still possible. As long as Dongheng doesn't die, we should be fine. Arlen... It's not unexpected Arlen dies here, it's just... I don't know if I have enough... I don't even know if I have enough to break gauges properly for the rest of the phases. We made it to Robin phase, I guess. Problem is Arlen didn't survive. Yeah, and Arlen doesn't revive either. It's so... How does he have 5 stacks and not... Why is he not prioed? Wait, what? Hello? Bug? That's such a bug! What? I waste a stack off that! Give me my stack back! Give me my stack back! Oh my god, I'm just getting bulleted now, please. Rail them! Rail them now! Live, 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 live! Okay, we made it to third phase? Okay, I've not seen this, so I don't know what's in third phase. Oh god, I do not have enough to break this. Wait, speed is completely irrelevant during this phase too? Oh, okay, this is a problem. I don't even think this is enough shield. I don't think this is enough shield. Oh, I'm trying to buffer this. Hopefully either I live or I can buffer it and restart challenge without wasting food buffs, hopefully. Oh, it's enough, it's enough! I live! Alright, break the gauge, break the gauge! Alright. Okay, we've broken gauge. Is there a different voice line every time you use the ult? It seems like it, because Dongheng didn't speak before. It was Himiko and Welt, I think, before, too? Abuse the train! Abuse the train! He's almost dead! He's almost dead! We almost did it! We're almost out! We're almost out! Okay. Get out of here. Oh. It's Monday, man. It's time to go back to work. Time to go back to reality. You had your dream. You had your fun. Now get out of my game. Get out. And so we did it. We actually beat the boss. Funny thing to note is that In fact, Arlen dying during second phase was actually a blessing in disguise because I definitely would not have survived third phase ult if Arlen was still alive, because the amount of damage the ult does is based on how many party members you have. And turns out, if you have 4, you should take 24,000 damage. And I did not because I only had 3 members, so I take only 18,000. And then reduce that by 20%. So, actually, in terms of optimal play, Arlen dying here was really good. Even though at first I thought it was bad. But, yeah, another boss conquered for the account. Another funny thing that happened, and I didn't know this at the time of recording, is that I actually managed to get every single voice line that you could possibly have gotten from the train ult. Because it turns out every time you use it, a different character speaks up. So I actually managed to get every single one during this fight. I didn't mean to, but it happened. Oh, and we got another Eidolon. Too bad Harmony Traveler is going where she rightfully belongs, and that is in the garbage, because I'm never using her again. Ugh. Unless the game forces me to, of course. Got another achievement though. It's pretty nice. We did it. Now we can actually do the event too. Alright, we got a lot of new missions to do now. But I think we will leave it off here. You know, Blade. I don't know if let's say Blade would clutched up or Donghun clutched up. But let's say both of them clutched up, you know? But yeah, Arlen. Soldier Arlen. It's been a while since we've used him. He actually soldiered his way through. He's pretty good. Still died, but I mean, you know, we hit the speed breakpoints. We beat the game. I mean, now we have new information for later. Is in that any time we can't beat a boss, we need to make sure we hit excessive speed breakpoints. This was hell. To be fair, not as hard as a Venturin's boss fight, but still annoying. Because of all the weakness break. Oh, if I didn't have Donghung, I don't know what I would have done. In any case, thank you all for watching, and probably the next time I see you on this account, it will be when Firefly comes out. So, until then, see you later.